All right, Gloria, welcome back to the podcast,
Thank
Spilling Tea
you.
with D. I'm
Thank you so
D.Lisa West. I'm a transformational life coach and a dream doula. And
Ooh,
Gloria,
yes. And I'm also an author, a professional singer, and a life coach, dream builder life coach.
sweet.
Yes.
And we were just talking off camera a moment ago about if you're in the creative world, a creative artist, either a visual artist, a performing artist like Gloria is, there's a thing that happens, and it happens to everyone in life, is you see someone else doing what you do, and you think, ooh, and you compare yourself
Mm.
to that other person. And maybe you're saying something good about yourself, maybe you're not, but comparing yourself to other people in your industry is never a good idea.
Never, ever compare yourself to others because you're devaluing yourself, you're degrading yourself, and you're not honoring who you are and what you have to give to the world.
Right.
Yeah.
And the joke earlier on another conversation we had was, are there too many coaches in the world?
Right.
No. In fact, there's another coach I follow online. She believes that there aren't enough coaches
Mm.
because there's how many? 7 billion people on the planet.
Yes.
And we're all facing interesting challenges that no one maybe thought about 2 years ago, and coming out of this era where we couldn't talk to people or meet people in person. And now there's a lot of stuff going on inside people's minds and hearts that
Yeah.
coaches can help with.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, and we're ready. We are ready to help you. If you're out there listening to us, we would love to help you. And getting back to the topic of comparing yourself to others. As a singer, I've gone to countless auditions. This is before I came to this conclusion and realization that I should not be comparing myself to others. When I first started out, I was going to auditions and you always have to wait for your turn and you're listening to the other singers before you. And there's so much talent in this world. And I would listen to these singers that were belting out songs and had skills that I didn't have. And I was like, oh God, I'm not that good, And I would get down on myself and I would go into that room and I'd be shaking and nervous and my vibrato would be all over the place. Vibrato is like, it's not a single tone. It's when you're moving your vocal cords. So it was out of control. I was out of control and I gave a bad audition. So I psyched myself out basically by comparing myself to these other singers. The one time that I decided, you know what, I'm not giving a crap about this audition. I'm just going to go in there and do my thing. That was the one time I got something. It's
Nice.
like, okay, I wasn't nervous. I was just being who I was. I'm not going to say the only time, but that was the first time that that happened. And I'm like, oh, I can breathe now. I can just be me, give the world my talents, what I have to offer, and not care about those other people being better than me, because there's always people that are better than you and worse than you in certain skills. Just be
Oh,
you.
100%. Even if you get to the pinnacle of your career,
Yeah.
there's always someone that's better than you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tony Robbins thinks there's someone better than him. And
Yeah.
maybe the rest. I
Yeah.
mean, um, and you touched back on that dominant paradigm that most of us have. I'm not good enough, because that is what we're thinking when we're comparing ourselves to someone else. That
Yes.
they're better than us, they're more wise than us, they're more successful than us, whatever it is. And we're like, so really the message is, I'm not good enough.
Yes.
And you can't come from, I'm not good enough and have a beautiful life.
You
You'll have
cannot.
a, I'm not good enough life.
Yes. Yes. Because that goes back to our past podcast interview where we were talking about our thoughts, because whatever we believe, we're going to get results from our thoughts.
Right. And the Bob Proctor's point of view is any belief is just a thought you keep repeating to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So the thought so many times is now a belief that you hold that is true.
Yeah. And until you turn that around and reframe it to, I am good enough. I've got
Mhm.
this, and just keep repeating that to yourself, like the placebo effect. Affirmations do just that. You're reframing your brain, saying, I'm good enough. Give
Yeah,
yourself a pep talk. Be your own best friend. You've got this. I've got this.
I did this reprogramming years ago with a hypnotherapist, and he had us do this thing where you cover your eyes and you say this affirmation 3 times, you cover your ears, say this affirmation 3 times, then you do this X thing where your elbows touch your knees and you say that affirmation 3 times. And the affirmation he gave me, which completely changed my life, was, I'm completely lovable just the way I am.
I love that.
Now, what if everyone really believed that was true, that you wouldn't think you were not good enough? You would
Yes.
think you're awesome and lovable
Yeah.
exactly the way you are, with your tattoos or your piercings or your speech impediment or whatever it is that makes you you.
Mm-hmm. Quirks, flaws, everything.
Yeah. And I think that right now, especially the young people are showing us the way, but they're all about authenticity. So who are you with your flaws? They want to see your flaws. They want to see your flub ups. They want to see your mistakes. And that's how they're going to love you anyway.
Yes, absolutely.
Although
Yeah.
that probably doesn't work on stage when you're singing.
Oh no, you have to have the ability and know what you're doing. And that just comes with repetition. With anything, you just practice, practice, practice. And it doesn't make perfect, but it does make progress. We are all on a journey of growth in this earth school that we're in. And it's just, as artists and creators, we use mainly our right brain more than our left. But we tap into something greater than ourselves as artists, usually.
And
And we don't.
I think that the listeners would love to hear about your singing career and how you're doing, what you're doing right now in your musician hat part of your world. Tell us more about that.
Okay, well, right now I'm currently with 3 different projects. I'm in a tribute band called 80s Revolution, which we perform in theaters, outdoor concerts, a few clubs. But it's a lot of fun. It's all the hits from the 80s. And I'm also in a singing, dancing trio, girl group called the Bell Tones, and we do very tight harmonies, and we do things from the Andrews Sisters, girl groups through the ages, costumes, the whole bit. And I'm also teaching country line dancing. I am in a country band. I sing in jazz trios. I've been doing this a very, very long time, and started when I was 9. So,
What? You
yeah.
started singing professionally when you were 9?
Well, I was on a stage when I was 9, singing professionally when I was 22. There was a
Wow.
big chunk of time where I didn't believe in myself, and I lived in fear. And I went to college for teaching elementary education instead of moving to New York City, like one of my best friends wanted me to do. But I was fearful. I let my fears get in the way. I let my thoughts of I'm not good enough to do this and make a living out of it get in the way of me progressing through life.
So did
So
you become a teacher?
I did. Well, I got certified. I got my certification, but I realized after not finding a job and working at the United Way, working waitressing and getting all these other jobs while I could not find a teaching job, and I didn't really enjoy teaching. I don't have children for a reason. So, so nothing against that. My sister has 5 kids. We're good with that. But I decided that my college degree was simply BS. I got my BS degree in BS. It did not serve me. but that was life experience for me that it taught me I'm in the wrong field. My passion was in the theater, in music and singing and dancing. But I'll make it brief. Through a failed divorce, marriage and divorce, I decided to face my fears. And I moved to New York City, got a job singing and dancing on a cruise ship. And from that moment on, I'm like, I can make money doing what I love. It was revolutionary, you know? So from there on, I just kept going in different projects. And I still, to this day, at 63 years old, I'm still doing what I love. And I encourage anybody out there who is in my age bracket or beyond, keep doing what you love. Never give up on you or your dreams.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I'm glad you found your passion
Yeah.
and remembered that you could do it,
Yes.
because so many people, I think, live lives of quiet desperation.
Yeah.
Where they're just driving to their job that they don't really like, or maybe now they're doing that job from home and they still don't really like it.
Yes.
And then they go get their dinner, and then they go watch their Netflix, and then they start over again the next day.
Yeah.
And that's no way to live. That's
No,
not why we're here. We're
no.
here to share our own unique gifts and talents. And there's, just like you said earlier, there's only one you. It's like you're a snowflake. There's never going to be another you. There never was another you before this time. You're here. You're right here with all your talents. And so bring them out.
Oh
Be
my
yourself.
goodness, you just said something. There's a song called There Will Never Ever Be Another You. It's an old jazz standard. And that's, you just said that. I'm like, oh, song lyric.
I love it. I love it. Okay, I got to put the song in the show notes. You'll have to remind me. Because there's another gal I talk to on my podcast, and she's always thinking of movies. And so we put the movie links in the show
Oh,
notes.
cool.
We could put
That's
song
super.
links in there. Oh, that's beautiful. So the end to this short story is this: don't compare yourself, because there's no comparison. Do snowflakes compare each other to one
Yeah.
another? No, they just come down out of the sky and melt in
Yes.
one magnificent shape.
Ooh, love that. I love that. Don't we all love you, D.Lisa?
Oh, thank you. Like, then I was like, wait, snowflakes, are snowflakes conscious? That's for another conversation.
Oh, yeah, that's out there.
That is pretty
Yes.
awesome. All right. Thank you for your
Thank
time
you
today.
so
It was
much.
lovely. It was a
Sending
beautiful
you all love
conversation.
out there.
Love to all our listeners. Bye.
Mwah.